Drive almost anywhere in Oklahoma's 1st Congressional District, and it is difficult to miss Mark Tedford's yard signs. There is nothing improper about that. Candidates need signs, advertising, and name recognition. But money can purchase visibility. It cannot substitute for a serious public examination of how a candidate would govern. A yard sign is a name tag, not a position paper. Jon Corazon and Mark Tedford should meet in 3 public debates so District 1 voters can compare their answers side by side. Both campaigns list general priorities. Tedford emphasizes lower costs, immigration enforcement, less waste, domestic energy, and conservative values. Corazon emphasizes lower household costs, public education, infrastructure, job training, and accountable government. Those are legitimate campaign subjects. But a website lets candidates choose the subjects and stop before the difficult questions begin. Voters need direct questioning, equal time, rebuttals, and side-by-side answers. A campaign-sponsored District 5 poll should be treated carefully. It does not prove that Jon Corazon would gain 4 points in District 1 if voters heard more. But it demonstrates a common-sense principle. Voters can change their minds when they receive information beyond party labels, endorsements, and name recognition. That is why debates matter, especially when one candidate can dominate the landscape with signs and advertising. One of the most important subjects is the major federal tax and spending law enacted in 2025. Some of the most advertised provisions are temporary tax benefits that run through 2028. But many health and nutrition provisions unfold on a different timetable. Medicaid community engagement requirements begin in 2027, and SNAP cost shifts phase in around the same election cycle. Candidates should explain those provisions before votes are cast, not after. The candidates should be asked whether they would preserve, change, or repeal the Medicaid requirements. They should explain what the SNAP cost shift could mean for Oklahoma's state budget and low-income families. They should say which temporary tax provisions should be extended beyond 2028 and how Congress should pay for them. These are not abstract questions. They involve health coverage, food assistance, federal taxes, and the Oklahoma state budget. The candidates should also be asked about H.R. 9237, the Take Care of America's Veterans Act. The bill included worthwhile provisions for veterans, caregivers, survivors, and mental health services. But Section 108 proposed future disability rating changes involving tinnitus and obstructive sleep apnea. Mark Tedford did not cast those votes and should not be blamed for votes he did not take. But he is seeking to replace Kevin Hern, and voters have every right to ask how he would have voted. Corazon should answer the same question. Education should be another major subject because District 1 contains one of the country's most respected community schools programs. Union Public Schools has used the model to connect academic support, family engagement, counseling, health services, and community partnerships. The question is not whether Washington should run local schools. The question is whether Congress will preserve a funding path that helps local districts build effective programs like this. District 1 should have at least 3 debates before early voting begins. The first should cover household costs, taxes, tariffs, federal spending, the national debt, and the 2025 law. The second should cover veterans, Medicaid, SNAP, Medicare, Social Security, prescription drugs, and rural hospitals. The third should cover public education, community schools, infrastructure, immigration, energy, data centers, and public safety. The debate rules should be simple and fair. Both campaigns should receive the same written invitation, the same rules, and several possible dates. They can be given the general subject areas in advance, but neither campaign should be allowed to approve the exact questions. Each debate should be recorded and published in full. The public should see the full answers, not just short clips selected by campaigns. Tulsa already has organizations capable of helping with a fair public process. The Tulsa Press Club, the League of Women Voters, local universities, independent media, and nonprofit newsrooms could each play a role. Research organizations could supply public data and issue briefs. No single outlet has to carry the whole burden. The point is to create a neutral setting where both candidates answer the same questions. If one candidate declines, no accusation is necessary. The organizers should publish the written invitation, the dates offered, the rules, and the candidate's response. If Tedford accepts and Quazan declines, voters should know that. If Quazan accepts and Tedford declines, voters should know that too. The public record can speak for itself without name-calling or speculation. Mark Tedford has every right to use his financial advantage to put signs throughout the district. John Quazan has every right to ask voters to consider an alternative. But neither man should expect to represent nearly 800,000 people without sustained public questioning. District 1 should not conduct another congressional election primarily through signs, endorsements, party labels, and controlled campaign messages. Tedford and Quazan should agree to 3 public debates. District 1 voters deserve nothing less.